Hello, world. This is Chris Aballo's podcast experiment, and I am Chris Aballo. Welcome to the Father's Day special, which is the first proper special / new episode of 2025. Having said that, thank you all for checking out the filmmaking special, which was released just a couple of weeks back. And hey, it's already time for another special because why not? In it. And it has you in it. That's right. Christian Cortez, everybody. He's joining me for that.
Bye, everybody.
No, don't leave. Come back. You're so important to the show. I can't pick you up and carry you. I mean, I can't in real life either, but it'd be funny if I could move this out of frame. All right, never mind.
Wait,
it's
pick me up.
Okay.
Where are we moving it? Are we throwing me away?
Yeah. Haven't lost a step, ladies and gentlemen. So, the reason for this special is not that I'm a father. This is not breaking news or anything like that. But the plan, as has been, as always, make all the plans you want. Life continues to happen. Life be lifing, as the kids say, which is a phrase you say when you're old like me. So the plan was to bring the show back, of course, in 2025 to start doing a run of the weekly show. And the plan is still that there will be a weekly run of the show in 2025. But that's not happening quite yet. Having said that, way back in March, which feels like a long time ago. It's not, but it kind of is. It feels like it, but it wasn't. It was 3 months ago.
Ugh, still gross.
But I did an episode of Cape with new dads, Jack DeFranco and Joe Weber. Yes, two of your favorites, who in this case, now that they're both new dads and both boy dads, Joe will be celebrating his first Father's Day this year. Jack's son was born in April, so he celebrated his first one last year. But I thought, as much as I can hang on to the show and keep it in the bank along with a handful of other ones, I thought, well, let's just put it out now so there's something. And it's June and it's Father's Day, and it's been a month and a half since the last special, and it was 5 months since the one before that. So I said, okay, since we're not quite back to the weekly show schedule yet, let's use what we have. And this is what we're doing. So that's coming out now. But because that was recorded and filmed as a weekly episode, so to speak, I figured, well, for context, let me come on and kind of do a fresh intro that lets you know exactly what's going on. Because it's weird. Come back on screen, Christian, because this is kind of like there is on the monitor, there's a frame where Christian should be. And I keep waiting for him to pop up, and he's not doing it. So I need to actually prompt him to get on camera. But it's just been tough getting things together. I mean, that was the plan. I mean, Christian and I did an episode, just the two of us, in February. That's still sitting in the bank. I know. And, the plan was to get a bunch of them in the bank and then bring back the weekly show and then pick up the rest of, whatever the run. But
you described it perfectly. Life be lifing.
It is. Holy and just crap. Frankly, one of the things is, because I got asked, when's the show's coming back? When's the show coming back? When's the show coming back? And some people said, just put the episodes out. Just put them out randomly. And I don't want to do that. My thing is I like it to be consistent on a weekly basis. So I can say, even like in 2023 where it was like, hey, we're going to do 10 shows, take a little break, and then we're going to do 10 more shows. So you can at least count on every week there's going to be an episode. And I like that as an idea. Are you looking up at me? Like literally and figuratively? Thanks for that. But that's just how I like to present the show. But the specials idea, which, as I said in last year in the One and Only special, this was actually your idea, Christian, and I'm glad you came up with it. Just do an occasional special in between to do something as opposed to just not doing the show at all and still give the audience something. And you're right. And it was a really, really good idea, and I'm glad we have something like this where, well, it's timely. Why not take this episode that's about fatherhood and just put it out for Father's Day? And here we are. But the plan is still to do a weekly run in 2025. It's just been tough. And a show in this position as an independent production, it's just, I still want to do it the way I want to do it, in as much as I want to do it with the people I want to do the show with. And it's hard getting people together. Well, you, of course. Yeah, but we've tried to coordinate episodes.
Now with summer coming up, hopefully that makes things a lot easier for people to do things.
I hope so. I don't have a rich history of successful recording and filming in the summer. So I don't know about that, but it is possible. You're right. Even for the sake of not having the pressure of, oh, there's only like 5 shows in the bank. I got to figure out 5 more by, within this time frame. At least having the summer to like grab a few episodes here and there, and then we come back in the fall and do, 10 episodes. That's completely cool with me. If that's the way it plays out, then that would be great. But I like doing the show with the people I like doing the show with. So I kind of want to hold out for when we could do the show I want to do. But in the meantime, we got something like this. Although let me say, it is kind of funny being here. So we are at a shared universe, Bellworks, and there is a green screen behind me. So it looks a little Muppet Show-like with this fake like red curtain. Because I said, do we have a shot of the actual studio the way it used to look before it was like green screen? But the green screen is stretched all the way across where the red curtains have traditionally been. And I said, it would be funny, it'd be funny to just have make it look like the green screen backdrop, the wallpaper looks like how Bellworks used to look, with just the red curtains behind us. And so we came up with this. Trippy. So anyway,
yeah, but I love it.
Weird. This is like, what was that little thing that used to follow He-Man around? You know what I'm talking about?
I don't actually, but I'm Kazoo is a better reference.
Okay, there we go. The Great Kazoo.
Oh my God, it's the Great Kazoo.
It is. Okay, there you go.
Hello, Fred.
Was that his voice?
Was it like that?
It was something like that.
Hello, Fred.
Even the Flintstones had their own Scrappy.
I should. Let me just say, this intro's gone on a little longer than it should have. But
it's an intro.
thanks to YouTube, you can actually just skip right to the chat. If you want to get to the fatherhood stuff, go ahead and click the description and go right to the fatherhood discussion. If you're like, I don't need all this. And why does he have a beard? Although I will say, it is funny in thinking about doing little specials here and there. And P.S., those may very well still happen until the weekly show, a weekly run starts up again. Mm-hmm. So stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed and following and all that other stuff. But I've had some specials cross my mind. I thought, that would be fun to do. That might be fun to do, which is why I said, well, let's leave the door open until the weekly show comes back. And this is something we can always do because it's just gotten busy. You have. Specials. Oh, yeah. Well, there's at least one more that seems for certain. I was toying with the idea of doing a special for this month, for June 2025, because this month marks, I'm glad you're sitting down, 25 years since I graduated high school. And I thought, wow, that might be interesting. But also, I'm not one of those people who is nostalgic about high school. Like, particularly not mine. The only people who loved Lakewood High School are the people who peaked in high school. But otherwise, like, I have no use for it. And I thought, I could assemble a panel of, and I thought of a couple people. But it's also a case where, number one, we can talk about high school as, people in their 40s, which, whatever. But none of us regard it as like the best time of our lives. And, to only go back to high school and bowl. I mean, to go back to the 90s and early 2000s would be good for so many reasons. But it's also a case where, I can ask people to come on the show and they'll do it because I'm asking them, not because they're like crazy excited about doing it. And I don't want to do that either. I want people, another reason why has been a weekly run yet in 2025. I want people who want to do the show to be part of the show. The Cape bench runs deep, but everybody has a lot going on right now. And it's all the more reason to just wait and do it the way we want to do it and the way I want to do it. So in the meantime, you have this. Anyway, that's enough out of us, although we'll come back at the end and say a little goodbye. But we are now, through the magic of editing, we'll be transported to Bravery Studios, where I sit down and talk to Jack DeFranco and Joe Weber in an episode that was actually engineered by Christian. An episode he actually was on but didn't take part in for the first time. So I guess it's a milestone episode in that way.
That's weird.
For 2 new dads discussing fatherhood and explaining to me all the wit and wonder and the wisdom they've gleaned from their brief time as new dads.
And you're lacking belief in it.
Pretty much. And joining me for the first time as fathers, please welcome back to the show, Jack DeFranco.
I'm back, baby.
That's right. And
with a baby.
And Joe Weber.
Hi, I'm tired.
Very. Yeah, we literally just had to shake them awake just to get them going. It's like, guys, it's showtime.
Here, and I think I've been up since 1:30.
Really?
Oof.
Wow.
Yay.
It gets better.
Like,
Just letting you know.
It's great.
Yeah.
How old's your kid?
My kid just turned 11 months the other day.
Oh, shit. I didn't realize you were that new, too.
Yeah.
Yo, that's
Under a year.
That's why the two of you are here.
I thought you had older kids.
No, both.
Oh, God, no.
Joe and Jack.
No. Oh, no.
Both Joe and Jack became fathers in 2024 and both had sons.
Yeah.
So that's why this is so much of a bigger deal.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, well, they're going to have plenty to talk
you're
about.
my ghost of Christmas future.
Yes.
Basically.
This is
It
awesome.
gets better. I can give you some advice. It gets better.
Yay, because
I had those 1:30 nights, and it's just,
Yeah. He sleeps good most of the time, but last night it
enjoy
was rough.
the times because
Oh, I know, because teething is coming. And he's gonna hate
teething and
everything.
separation anxiety.
Oh, he's
I'm in the
already got
separation
that.
anxiety phase where his poor mother is the only one he wants.
Yep.
So,
she goes
lucky
back
you.
to work April 21st, and I'm sure it's going to be a nightmare. Thank you, Lois, for being our retired.
Oh, you have a
childcare.
grandparent in the fold who
we
can help?
told everybody that Heather was pregnant, and her mom was like, "Well, I'm retiring in December," and that was it. She was
Wow.
done. Yep.
That's an amazing
And she lives
boost.
10 to 15 minutes away.
My in-laws did the same thing. He said, "Yep, we're retiring to North Carolina." Son of a
They just ran.
Yeah.
So you better follow us.
Yeah.
That's where we're going to be.
Yep.
You want sitters? You got to come to us.
Yeah.
You got to bring the baby to us. Oh my God. But that seems to be a necessity now for everybody I know. Like because of just cost of living, period, but cost of any kind of daycare.
Yep.
Having the grandparents to take care of the child has become very, very much a necessity. And I think that I'm not saying, just to break it down generationally, I'm not saying Gen X didn't have to deal with that, but that definitely feels like a millennium down thing.
Oh, God, no. It's a more
Millennials
recent
down,
thing.
where it's
Yeah.
like, no, the grandparents have to be part of it because every household needs two incomes. I mean, that's just where we are in 2025.
Right, because
Like
it wasn't so necessary for the two incomes back then.
Exactly.
And
you could
somebody
be
could be a
stay-at-home
now
mom
it's-
was a thing, and
you
now
didn't
Sink
it's
or swim. There's no such thing
maternity
as single
leave
parent.
pay or paternity leave pay or whatever. And so, yeah, you could just stay home with the kid for a little while until you felt like going back to work.
right.
There was no guarantee your job would still exist.
Well,
but
Yeah.
that's the only thing I'm grateful for. But
Yeah, it's one of those things like with this generation, because I would hear things from my parents, and my mom was like, I was on my own. Your father went to work. I raised you. I raised your sister. And my in-laws were the same thing. My wife's mother was like, I was by myself. I had no help. Nobody in the family helped me because they were all over here or were doing other things. So it's a very new generational thing of like the grandparents are so involved. I mean, my mom retired from her full-time career and essentially became a full-time grandparent with my sister's kids. And it's just a thing now where grandparents are as involved as the parents, sometimes like even more depending
so.
on like,
I mean,
you know,
if they're spending while you're at work, if they're spending time with the
or even
grandparents.
on weekends too, if like, because you don't stop being an adult once you have a kid. I mean, you
sure.
can have some social interactions, but
you
it can be
should.
very few. It's
healthy.
It's recommended from what,
Well, that's
we're
it.
here.
I mean,
we were released.
yeah,
This
that's what
is-
it,
yeah.
You guys got a day pass. And
Well,
so
that's
you're
it.
here.
No, I actually have a trade-off because tomorrow she's got a baby shower and my baby's not going to the baby shower, so it's just boys' day tomorrow.
Nice.
Well, I say boys' day. My girlfriend also has a daughter who's 16, so she's going to be in the house too. But we got like the
But she's
condo
16,
thing.
so she's gonna be in a
She's
room
got
not wanting to talk to
She's
anybody.
got a whole floor to herself, and
Damn.
so dude, I'll tell you all.
I don't have
about-
that now.
I'll tell you all about the thing that we did because we're psychopaths.
Oh, I wanna hear that, too.
Heather is, I think, like pretty much 9 months pregnant. Kid was due December 6th, but she had the pregnancy diabetes, gestational diabetes, so he was getting
right.
bigger and bigger.
Oh,
and so he was going to come early. We always
Which another
knew.
thing insanely common, by the way.
Oh,
I've heard
God, all
more
this
and more
stuff, yeah.
about that.
The second she gives birth, diabetes are gone. It's the placenta yanks all the diabetes out, and she's
Really?
normal.
temporary
Yeah, she can have her-
diabetes.
Yep.
It's pretty much like,
That's it.
and everyone I've talked to who's been pregnant recently in the last few years have all had that.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
and it just leads to big babies because my kid was born 9 pounds 9 ounces, 22.5 inches long.
Jesus.
Yeah, the long is my fault because my legs start in my rib cage, so that's on him too. He got that. But then 9 pounds 9 ounces. Dude, we got a friggin' lineman already, and so. But yeah,
Was she full term, like
a
full
week early?
week early?
Yeah, but we had to do it because of how big he got.
Yeah.
And so in the middle of all that, our lease was going to be up in like a couple of months, but they up the road from me were building a new apartment complex, and we were fucking eyeing this place because Brandy knew, bring it on, because our place was a little old or whatever, and it was 2 bed, 1 bath. Well, we jump in. We see them advertising everything. We're looking at floor plans, and they have one that's like a garage on the first floor, the bottom level. The first floor is like the kitchen and 1 bedroom, master bath, and all that stuff with a den. And then second floor is its own bathroom, bedroom, walk-in closet, all that.
Oh, so it's like a townhouse kind of.
Right.
Oh, nice.
So we decided to move. Like my kid was born December 1st. We moved in there November 15th.
Wow. That was lucky.
Yeah. Because
Wow.
we had no choice but to jump in, or else they weren't going to hold it.
Of course.
They just opened the place November 1st was the first time you could move in, so that was it. So I did a lot of it, and she tried to do, and I would yell at her for trying to pick things up, but that was, she wasn't allowed to pick up.
I mean, now she was as they say in the Northeast, wicked pregnant at that point.
Yeah.
So
Wicked, and emphasis on the wicked, because
oh, do tell.
I won't, because she's going to listen to this. I love you. No, she knows that she wanted to punch me a few times.
Well, we all do.
Deservedly so. But it was a rough one, but we got it done, and we emptied my storage unit into the garage, which, by the way, my rent only went up $500 from what they were going to bump my rent up to at my old place. And then $100 of that comes back to me anyway, because I don't need a $100 storage unit every month.
There you go.
Oh, cool.
$400 more a month split between the two of us for, we went from 2 bed, 1 bath to 2 bed, 2.5 bath, den in a garage.
Oh, so
And
that's an upgrade.
The kids' room. And Amy, she's 16 years old and gets a whole floor to herself, her own bathroom. Like, she's loving life. So it's a whole thing. And so we emptied the storage unit into the garage. That night, we're like, let's get Mediterranean food, because she was set to be induced the next day. And I was like, haha, post on Instagram, haha, eating the spicy food to kickstart things. And an hour and a half later, her water broke.
Oh boy, it worked.
And it fucking worked. She didn't want me to tell anybody, otherwise the post immediately following in that story, we're trying to get it done early. The next one, it would have been a really small thing that says, it worked. Like the tiniest words on a blank screen that just said, it worked. And it would have been the hint to everybody, like, this kid's coming. So yeah, that was, and I knew it happened because her sister came over to help us organize some things. And I'm talking to her sister on the couch while Heather goes, I got to go to the bathroom. And she walks away. And I suddenly hear Heather laughing. And I look down at the coffee table and her phone's there. And I'm like, she's not scrolling and laughing at things. What's so funny? She walks out and she goes, my water broke. I'm like, what do I do?
Yeah. Immediately, any preparation goes right out the fucking window. Yeah.
What, I don't know, your situation.
So my situation was a little different. It was, as previously reported on your show.
Yes.
We went through IVF for ours. So we were at a point of, he was getting to a point where he's very big, like you said with yours. And he was at 38 weeks. So he was like 7 pounds, 14 ounces. He was born 7 pounds, 14 ounces. If we went to full term, he would have been 9 pounds. And at that point, my wife was just, she had to do it early.
Get it out. Get it out.
Yep.
Cut it out of me.
She had to do it early because of
done.
similar situations. She didn't have gestational diabetes, but there was an not preeclampsia, but there was like accelerated stuff. Like you want to do it, you should do it when you do it then, because it could be more complicated. More dangerous.
It could be complicated if you wait till full term. Yeah.
So we had him 2 weeks early, April 12th instead of April 26th. Came out fine. Did a C-section. Born healthy. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Christian is guest engineering everybody. So.
Also previously requested on your last episode where I was on, Christian wanted him to be, the original due date was the 26th, which was Christian's birthday.
Right. And he was holding out hope.
Made a promise to Christian
Yeah.
that I'd say, you know what? Yeah, we can make it to 26. And our doctor's like, fuck, no, you can't.
That's funny because Christian was walking around with a very large cork in his jacket pocket.
Yeah.
Just in case things weren't going to make it till the 26th.
I was going to tell you, I was going to text you, like, hey, just don't tell him until 26.
Yeah,
like,
just
they
tell him
had
it's
it.
the 26th. Like every year the kid gets 2 birthdays. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's like,
Great.
Uncle Christian doesn't want to have his heart broken. Yeah. Like he's born 2 weeks early. No.
I can't hurt
because they're
that
not
sweet
even
boy.
the same astrological sign.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
My kid's due date was December 6th, and if it was a day late, he would have been D-Day, or not D-Day, Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor.
Yeah. Who needs
Most
to be
infamous
reminded of
day
that?
in my history. Yeah, that is fucking.
Yeah. So we had the C-section, and then there wasn't any complications, but because he was born via C-section, when a baby's born, apparently all the gunk doesn't come out of them if you do it like through a traditional birth.
Right.
So he had to stay a week in the NICU to kind of like jumpstart it because he wasn't taking any food, which was scary because he was born at Riverview Hospital, Red Bank. He had to be transported the 2 days after he was born to Jersey Shore because they don't do that stuff at Riverview. And so that was just like terrifying that like, oh, my newborn son's going to be moved on the parkway in this incubator in an ambulance.
God.
And it was just sheer, but over the week he got better, tolerated feedings, but it was not the best. Like, I mean, the birth experience was great, but the days subsequent were there was nothing scary, touch and go, nothing, thank God. But it was very like, it was a lot to take in. Like, your newborn baby kind of needs a tune-up to get all this crap out of his system and learn how to eat and everything else. And look, I was convinced the kid was born hungry. Like he was in an hour, he was just like, "Where's my food? I'm starving." I was, and so everything was fine. We got him home, but when we got him home, it was one of those things. It was like kind of a sudden. We were told that he'll be home Monday the 22nd, which was 10 days after he was born. We go to the hospital that Sunday to see him, and he's doing better. He had to have he got a circumcision finally because they couldn't do that. And they're like, "Oh, he's coming home today," and we were just like, well, we weren't ready for the whole like, oh, it's just another day, and it's just not another day. It's like, you're not prepared to bring a newborn home instantly, and it's especially when it's like
45 miles on the right lane on the parkway.
Yeah,
the whole way. I'm like, no, I'm not this.
No, this is fun. And the car seat was a nightmare too because you had to strap him into the thing that connects to this, and we're like, is it too tight? Is it strangling my small child? Is it? Yeah. So all that like stuff in the beginning is just like. They're made of porcelain, and you're like, don't touch because they're, really.
Their heads are hacky sacks made of silly putty.
Yes, that's the best way.
It's so scary.
That is the best analogy I've ever heard.
It's just such like a...
Don't move them the wrong way. A stiff wind could...
Honestly. Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like,
and all of a sudden they're Quasimodo.
I'm like, I'm giant, meaty man. I'm a big, heavy guy. I'm gonna hurt him.
Yeah. But now I'm 3 months in, and I'm like, okay, we gotta switch arms, kid. Flip, flop.
Oh God,
like throw him in the air. Do what I gotta do. Catch him on the way down.
Listen, I need my other arm, and you got to get your bottle because you won't stop screaming in my ear, bloody murder.
Exactly. I've had the kid straddled across both arms while I'm screwing the top out of it, and I'm just like, okay, you're like, we're doing this right now, and I'm like, you're fine. Like your neck muscles are getting way stronger, and that's cool for me. That's great for me because now
like when I put you on a
can
leash.
see the attitude that you're giving me as you hold it up like I don't want to be doing this anymore. Which is, dude, I have a picture and I'll give it to you so that you can post it up so that everybody can be watching this. The picture of him coming home from the hospital is the angriest baby you have ever seen. He is so fucking, and I put it in the announcement post that I made on Instagram, and it's the last picture before you see his name and everything, and it is just him going,
oh dude, you sent it to me
with the biggest cheeks you ever saw. So yeah,
I was comfortable where I was, and I was an ass to be bought
it's like
here.
it was warm, and now it's cold, and because being
I
in
was getting
December,
meals
it was
around
cold.
the clock.
Yeah,
I was eating some good stuff.
we were in the hospital for 5 days. Well, after he was born. No, 5 days total. Sorry, we went in on Saturday. Sorry, we went in on Saturday. It was 25 hours labor, but it wasn't all.
That just sounds.
Jesus.
Oh my God!
We were there for about 18 hours before she could push because the contractions took forever from her water breaking to get to that point.
Yeah.
So like she was in pain, yes, but it wasn't like he was nowhere near coming that entire time. So it's
not
crazy.
like the movies where they're like, oh my God, my water broke 10-20 minutes later. Segments. It's like, oh, here he is.
Handing a
I'm
father
sure it
newborn.
can be because I've
It's
heard
not
those
like look who's
stories from
talking.
people.
It's very much like 18 hours later.
Yes. There's the picture.
Oh, damn. He's pissed off baby.
So angry.
Yeah, he looks like Walter, Jeff Dunham's old man puppet.
Dude.
That is. And when you sent me that photo, I'm glad I was sitting down because I literally fell down laughing because I'm like, that would be
so
Joe Weber's
good.
son. I expected nothing less.
Yeah.
And I was not disappointed.
Nope.
It's cold out here. It's fucking bullshit.
It was. It's like he's got his Goopalina on and everything. He's ready to.
I was in a
he's ready for
dark
December.
lit room in warm, and you brought me out into the brightest thing I've literally ever seen with this cold bullshit air on my face because it's December. I want to go back in.
Yeah. And it wasn't like a good December. Like, oh, it's still kind of fall. No, it's cold ass December.
Cold. And then January was bitter cold.
Yeah.
Even worse.
December 1st. He was born at 9 at night, and I by 1 o'clock I'm like, oh my god, I haven't eaten in 12 hours, and she's like, go to Wawa. I was like, I'm not leaving. She's like, get the fuck to Wawa and eat so that you can help me tomorrow. I was like, good point.
Yeah.
So I just
they're smarter than we are.
I was
they?
sleep deprived, and I just ran out, and I did not bring a jacket and did not start my car to warm it up, and that was the coldest thing I have ever experienced. When I got to Wawa, I left my car running in the middle of the night in a town I'm not familiar with, and it could have been just taken because it's remote, it's remote start, so somebody just left, and it was the coldest thing I had ever experienced. So I can't imagine what a fresh baby who doesn't know what cold is.
Yeah, how
just felt on the way out.
Yeah,
horrifying. But yeah, that was
all sounds like fun.
Oh, it's so fun. It's so worth it too.
And then the party begins. You bring them home, and everything shifts. Like, we were trying so hard. How is your schedule of you take this time, I take that? Because we had tried everything. There was one point where I stayed up till 4 a.m, and she went to bed at 8 o'clock at night, and she woke up at 4 a.m. I tried to sleep till noon. The problem is we have we're in an apartment complex, and on Mondays the landscapers come at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I'm not just sleep deprived being a father. I'm like, it's like we're being attacked. And we tried every single thing, and it just was like, you do this, you do that. I'll do 4 hours, you do 4, and it was just like,
well,
it's
no combination was
nothing was working. Yeah. So.
I ended up having to switch jobs. I went back into banking. I work at Ocean First now, and because of that, I was too new for any real paternity leave. So I just had to use PTO that I didn't have yet. It was going to accrue by the time however that works. But I took that entire week off, except I had to go into work on that Saturday. And then the whole next week too, which is regular schedule. I got one random day off during the week if I worked a Saturday, whatever. So if I had work that day, I took the shift until 2 in the morning, and then if he woke up, and then she would take over for any waking up beyond that point because I had to sleep before I went to work. Yeah. Especially because I was still in training and shit too. So. Yeah, that was a harsh shift. But if it was, I didn't have to work, it was however we were feeling. So if she needed to rest up, which she wouldn't properly do after a C-section, and hers, they had to cut a bigger scar because he was so big. So she was extra, she was an extra.
So they had to do a C-section
because he was too big. Absolutely. She tried for 2 hours and they said, stop.
Yeah.
Not going to happen. Because first off, the noggin on this kid.
Yeah,
he
this
better
chick's
be
gonna be wrecked.
Genius.
We better.
He's got such a big head, and so that wasn't happening. And so, and another thing too, because of the size of it and how much everything had to go, she couldn't ever breastfeed because she was on Percocets. The whole time after. So yeah, it was a rough recovery, but we're good now, and everybody's happy and okay. But
that's
yeah,
good.
It was a rough one. And then the sleep schedule thing, just we got it to work, and he started sleeping good really fast.
That's great.
Yeah. So we got very lucky with this guy. If I haven't said his name, by the way, his name is Archer, which I fucking
awesome.
Love this name for my son. I'm so excited because she threw Archie at me in a text because we were trying to figure it out, and I responded with a GIF of Archer. The show, and she said yes! ! And I said, "Don't you play with my emotions?"
Yeah.
This I can name my son after a cartoon of who I am as a person. Holy shit!
Yeah.
And so
you're getting choked up now. I can hear it.
We didn't name him after a cartoon. I agreed to the name because it's a cartoon.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I'm just
We
that
can
much
call that
vain.
fine print when the reality
For
is
sure.
you essentially named him after Archer.
And now the game is
Sterling
with my
Archer.
siblings too. Is just throw like random names into the group chat. When are we going to see Arch Nemesis? I need to visit Golden Arches. Like whatever.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's Heather's.
That's great.
That's Heather's, and it's just clear winner from everybody. I'm the paid comedian, the least funny person in my relationship, including my son. The kid shits at the most opportune times, and I feel like it's just great comedic
Oh, so his
timing.
comedic timing is strong.
Yeah, I was about to go to my friend's house, and he's like, well, guess what? You're changing that jacket. Kid's talented. Went through 5 layers to get my jacket at that point.
We haven't had that level of shit attack yet, but there's been times when he was really little and you won't stop shitting and you're trying to change a diaper and it's just shit just coming out of them and you're watching a person shit and you're just like, I didn't need to see this at 5:30 in the morning, but I guess we're here now.
No, I just
I'll
let
never
it
be able to
run.
unsee
And you
it.
don't know like when they're going to stop.
Yeah,
It's just
right.
like-
I don't.
It's
I
like a
don't
broken ice cream.
Where's the
like,
button?
Yep.
I think it broke his,
all the
broke his
McDonald's
song.
ice cream machines are broken, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, this is
Yeah.
what it's supposed to be
They
like.
just need to get flowing like this thing does. This is like a broken soft serve machine. This thing won't stop.
I don't move. Like I'll feel the blowout happening. I'm like, well, we're not moving until you stop making noises for at least 10 minutes straight. Then I know. And then, like, you're gonna sit in it for a couple minutes, kid, but it's gonna be so much better than me having to give you an entire bath that you don't like to do because you just shit so much more out in the open on things.
Right.
Heather already made the mistake by picking him up naked off of the changing table one time, and he just went right down her leg. Yeah.
Awful.
So that hasn't happened to me. However, first diaper change in the hospital, I went to change it. It was just a pee-pee diaper at first, and I lifted his legs up, and then it just started pouring out. And
Yeah, it's like that brown liquidy, like.
no, I had a completely black tar situation.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. It was. Yeah, it was like the black. Ours was.
They
Our
don't
baby was.
warn you about that one.
Yeah.
I get warned about everything. If it's a C-section, don't look beyond the veil. Fucking did by accident. I saw too much. And yo,
Oh, I was so like cautious of that, like with ours, because they're like, "Oh, you should take a picture." And I was just like, I have the moment he's born on camera, but I was like, just don't go further because they're going to see guts and everything else.
I don't have that, but they let me cut the cord, which meant me walking around to that side of the thing, and they took a video of me cutting the cord, which was cool. And then they're like, okay, you can go back to over by Heather's head now.
Right.
And I turn around and
Like I've seen every.
They
see
don't
her
give-
opened like cracked
they don't
open like
give
a
enough
lobster.
credit to the people who draw intestines in textbooks because that shit is accurate. Oh,
I don't need to know. I don't need to know.
That was not something I expected to see, and I saw.
And it's so funny though with that whole situation, like with a C-section. I'm sitting there just like, oh my God, my life's about to change. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And these doctors are like, oh yeah, everything else. They're just like talking casually.
Yeah,
like this is
it's-
just like,
yeah.
like how
It's
I
the
make a
most-
sandwich. And it's just like,
The most
I'm like, oh my
normal
God, oh
thing
my
in the
God, oh my God, oh my God. My son's, I'm a mess. And these people are like, yeah, well, we can watch. Oh, I started actually watching this show. And then, oh, this is, oh, it just reminds me of this thing. And it's like, you're operating on a human being and taking
Yeah,
a
like-
human out of them.
They've done it 4,000
New guys in the corner
times.
puking his guts out.
This is the most incredible moment of your life, but to quote one of the greatest actors of all time, to them it was a Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
If you get that reference,
I do.
fucking love you all.
Yes.
But yeah,
R.I.P. Raoul.
yeah. No, but when your kid came out and you saw him, did he look like you
Yes.
immediately?
Instantly, I said, that's a DeFranco. I can tell by
Nice.
the eye shape and everything else.
Yeah.
And not to get, I don't want to get choked up. He looked like my grandfather a little bit. And I was like, God damn.
Shit,
It just like, it hit me. And I was like, I knew who you, I was like, that's a DeFranco right there. And I sent everybody the picture and they're like, that's a DeFranco. That's a DeFranco. Except this asshole who said, oh, congratulations on Noel. And your friend Dan, because he thought he looked Asian. And I was like, you son of a bitch. Of course you would say this.
Why wouldn't I?
Yeah, and then you sent the sentimental text after, like, no, really, congratulations.
Well, in the group chat, I gotta
Yeah.
obviously make jokes. I mean,
Yeah,
come
of
on. What do you expect? What do you expect from me?
Yeah.
They walk
But
me
they don't
around.
look
Nothing
like, they
less.
don't kind of look exactly.
don't.
They don't look like anything when they're
They're
first
pink
born.
potato
Newborn.
people.
Yes, pink potato people. That's what they are. A hacky sack full of silly putty. I mean, you're killing it.
Yeah.
You really are. You did your prep, and I appreciate that.
I did no prep. I am sleep deprived and manic.
You've well, that's the title. Sleep deprived and manic.
Perfect.
That's the one to beat, fellas.
That's my goal. Every time I'm on the show, I want to say something that
You
becomes
want the title. Yeah.
I want the title.
I get it.
I want the title of title maker.
It gets it gets competitive. I will say that.
I'm
Now
sure,
that everybody
yeah.
knows the
Hey,
best
look, I
line
took
wins.
hydrate before you dihydrate to heart. So that's one of my favorite
that is
phrases.
from my roommate Matt, and thank him for that. It was
Yes, thank
great.
you, Matt.
That's going to Cape merch coming in 2025. Hydrate before you dehydrate is absolutely going on a shirt.
Just make sure my old roommate Matt doesn't see it because he'll be like, "I want a fucking credit.
Yeah.
I want money.
Cut."
He's like, well, you didn't say it on the show. So as far as the world knows, it's mine. It's
mine, bitch.
I have to edit this out, don't I?
Yeah.
But
Well, for me,
Go ahead.
I went around the veil to cut the cord, and I saw him, and for a brief second, there was just disappointment because he didn't look like me, and I felt like a shitty person, a shitty new dad. And then like obviously like that lasted like 10 seconds, but I was like, still my fucking kid. Like this is amazing. I love it already. And so, but yeah, there was that like brief moment of like, fuck, he is like 100% Heather. And then like, damn it. And now as time goes on, more and more people are like, that kid looks like you. And
they all change.
yeah,
Like,
I personally don't see it. I see him. But there was one day at work where I saw my profile in a mirror, like out of my peripheral, and I saw something. I couldn't even tell you what it was, but it reminded me of him. And I was like, shit. Yeah,
That's my boy.
That's my boy. I mean,
it
he
felt
definitely
good.
has some of my features. He's got my ears. He's got my butt chin hidden under this goatee. There is a dimple right dead center, and that boy has like the capability to wipe his ass and blow his nose in one tissue, for sure. Just butt everything. But the thing that you're talking about, like seeing your grandfather in him and like losing. So in the Weber side of my family, there is this dented ear thing. I don't know if you can see it on here. It's a sharp turn right here on this ear, I think. Yeah, it's on this side for me.
okay.
It's this dent, right? Every single Weber in my family has it on one of their ears, except for my grandfather, Edward Anthony, who has it on both. And then magically, my cousin's kid, Anthony Edward, has it in both as well. Everyone else only has it in one. This kid comes out, and immediately one of his ears has this dent. And I texted to all the Webers, and I texted to my dad specifically outside a group chat, and he's like, now I'm crying. Oh, like, motherfucker. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. This is his first grandkid. It's his only grandkid because my sister's not having any kids, but
Right.
and we're not having any more.
She's single? I'm kidding.
No.
I'm joking.
She's with a guy that she's been with for about 12 years, and she's like, are you my boyfriend? Like, they're not getting married. They're not nothing traditional about it. They're just going to be together forever.
Right.
Because they're like that.
That's
but
cool,
just,
though.
Like, they own property. They everything.
Oh, so
together.
they're legally together, but that's about it. They're
like-
titleless.
Right. Like, yeah. But they're like, are we in a
Kurt Russell and
relationship?
Goldie Hawn. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
honestly.
That's a good. They're reference points for it. Sure.
But
no, I get it.
No kids, so Archer's the only one, and that's cool.
It's cool. Yeah, we don't know about a second one. Quite honestly, it's one of those things where it's like you go through so much as a parent, and it's like, do you want to do like the further away you get from infancy, the more fun, and you'll see this. It's going to be like more fun. Like my son's at a point where he's just like learning in the sand, and he's in his walker, and he just finds walking around in a circle silly, and it's one of those things like he's just so much. He's getting into that really really fun period, but it's also like I don't know if I want to have another kid. We don't know if we want to. Also, age is a factor.
Of course.
But also just like I want to give so much attention to him, and I see people sometimes with two kids and the stressful, and like obviously people love their kids, but it's also another layer of stress. Like, hey, all that stuff that you went through, here it is again, and now it's two of them, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, have them close in age, further apart in age. I've heard all the stories of like it's a horror story. It's great one way or bad the other, and vice versa.
I have a newborn and a teenager in the same house right now.
Yes.
So
Yeah, that's a lot of range.
That's a lot of range.
yeah.
But like
built-in babysitter, always fun.
Oh yeah,
But
absolutely.
and I can't hold it against her because like she lives a life too, but she ain't changing a diaper. She refuses.
Yeah.
She's the only person in the house that hasn't been pooped on.
So how? Because your girlfriend. we call it-
yeah.
Okay.
And that's
Now,
another
just
thing too. You mentioned the age thing. Heather's 34 when we decided to go through all this. she had a kid at 18, so having a kid so early and then being 34, it's dangerous to have it any later. So that's why we went this route instead of getting married first. We chose that.
Right. And sensible.
Right.
Having said that, do I have an exclusive? Now that we're talking about it, no, I'm kidding. But I like, listen, we have an infant. We have no time to think about things like commitment.
Right.
But how did that go? How did that fly with your, for all intents and purposes, stepdaughter? When it came to having
you'll hear me say
newborn.
Stepdaughter. It's just shorter to say.
It's easier than explaining my girlfriend's
It's just
daughter.
less
exactly.
words and letters.
Right, just for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
Your stepdaughter. Like, where
she's
was
great.
she at with it? She was on
great.
board. You two get along.
Couldn't
all
tell
that.
because she doesn't show emotions all that like over the top way.
Right.
She's a great kid. Like. It's scary because they say
That
that
helps.
like whatever kid is your perfect pancake, the other one's going to be the wild child. Well, like your second one is going to be the wild child.
Right.
Well, it's my first kid, but it's Heather's second. So now we're like flipping a coin. Which one's going to be like a Targaryen? Like you flip a coin. So now I don't know which way is he going to go. So I know my ADHD is going to kick in with him, and he's going to be a terror just like I was. So whatever. I'll just learn to handle it. Anyway, but Amy has been fantastic. Helping as much as she can, and we didn't know when we told her that we were pregnant how excited she was until she saw the itty bitty socks and lost her freaking mind.
Really?
It was adorable.
Right.
And so we got her very involved. We let her use the login to find out the gender of the baby, and then she made me and Heather a cake. And she knew before we did, and we found out that way. And the fun thing that we did, she saw on TikTok, I guess, for the gender reveal, you don't.
I'm sure they all do that on TikTok. 16-year-olds.
Yeah. Well, you don't cut in with a knife because when you cut it out, you can see what color it is. You go down the center with a cup and pull. And that's how we
that's
did.
interesting.
The new
So
thing.
that was fun. And then we couldn't coordinate either with our families being so far apart. So my sister threw something for us up in Lincoln Park here. And then her family did something with us in Manchester. So we had 2 gender reveal parties that we had to plan.
That's stressful.
Yeah, especially
So
trying to keep
much.
everybody quiet.
Yeah.
Spoiler alerts.
Yeah.
Avoid
Listen, don't
spoil-
put this shit on Facebook, all right? We got 2 parties we got to do, and they're a week apart.
Luckily, Heather's family went first, and there's not a lot of social media there, so it was fun.
Nice.
But then my sister got involved with the decorations for the one on my side of the family, and she made it Mario and Nintendo themed. So the way we found out was a question mark box.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was
That's awesome.
sick.
Oh my God, that's
she was
awesome.
trying so hard to get it to be like I pull something on the bottom and it shoots out the top like the coin does.
Right.
But she couldn't get it to go in a way where the baby didn't shoot 20 feet up in the air. She said she did it in the house and almost broke a
That
ceiling
in its
tile.
own way would have been good,
Yeah,
actually.
it would have been great, but she's like, the baby
viral
would
video
have been just
sensation.
like jettisoned. And like, listen, there's bad enough like with the California fires.
What comes the diaper?
Yeah, like with the California fires, we're not trying to start off any other kind of gender reveal things.
This
so,
is true. Yeah.
yeah. But no, it was a lot of fun. But Amy has been fantastic the entire time, and so
Nice.
and also
That's handy.
Archer is obsessed with her,
Yeah?
like obsessed. Just like he's got 2 best friends, Amy, and by best friends I mean he'll stare at them and just either just lock in and do nothing, or lock in and start smiling or baby talking. It's Amy and a ceiling fan that is not on. It's just there. Just on, and he's just like, and anytime like he stares at it and starts crying, I'm like, oh, you're arguing with your best bud. Are you guys having a fight?
It's his biggest fan.
Jack, you did it.
was fantastic.
Biggest fan.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, it's weird what they like find fascinating. I know. Just so
It's not me.
So what now between 3 months and 11 months, what can you tell them is coming? The good and the bad.
So
Be
the
honest.
good is the gas and all that discomfort that they're experiencing will eventually go within the next 2 months.
Less burping, you mean? Like,
Well, my son was colicky, so like he had a lot of like issues with like gas stuff, and like he had this must be horrible for them, like an indigestion. So he had to get special.
Archer too.
Yeah,
He had. Oh, what is your son's name, by the way?
Harrison.
Harrison.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. But like, Like Harrison Ford we're talking? Or like,
Yeah, so everybody thinks that I named the kid like it's Jack's because he's a massive Star Wars Indiana Jones Harrison Ford fan. He's like, Jack picked the name. It's like, no, Noelle picked the name. She likes the name. So
you guys
like
are
we're in a
saddled with just
very
own
same
it.
boat.
Just
but
own
you know
it.
what? I
Both
don't
you
care. He's
we agreed to the name because we're fans of these
Yes, we
things,
agreed to
but
the-
we did not come up
I was
with
like, are
them.
you really sure? Because I would really love a Harrison.
I don't know
Frank.
what I don't know what hill you guys want to die on. I don't think this is
Yeah.
the one though.
I
when
mean,
it comes
she
to
will kill me
parenthood.
if I keep telling people we named him after a cartoon, so I will die on that hill.
All right, fair enough.
Literally.
Hey, listen, do I
My
take a shit in
father-in-law's
public
like,
or
they
do I
named
take
him
it at
after
home?
Han Solo. I'm like, no, we didn't. Technically, we didn't. Your daughter came up with the name.
Yeah.
But if you want to go that way,
But I'm not mad about it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll never be mad about it. And
Archer, they had to put him on fucking Nexium.
oh my god,
And then, what's the other one? Starts with a P. Can't think of it. But either way, he's had to switch between two different heartburn meds.
It's horrible.
And it's all like a liquid.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
because they just have reflux. They drink it, and then it's just like.
right,
There was
right,
one day he
spit it up.
sat. We went through 4 formulas, by the way. We finally settled on Alimentum. It took us every trial and error and everything else, and
We're on
my
the
wife tried breastfeeding, and that was
Similac.
going nowhere. So we just did the whole
Same.
pre-made formula. I've never scooped and made the formula, which I just
He
terrified.
hated the powder and didn't poop for like 3 days when we did it. So we're like, we didn't mix it well enough. There's chunks in his system just blocking him up. So
Yeah,
stayed away.
Yeah.
it's a nightmare with the formula in the beginning because like we thought we had one of them one day. I fed him. He looked at me. He went, "Bleh," and it all like came out in chunks on my arm through the couch, and I'm like, well, we gotta switch.
You gotta throw the whole couch out.
It's everywhere. It's even in my raccoon wounds.
Yes. Oh God. It's in my raccoon wounds.
Such a good Peter Griffin.
So,
Thank you.
So happy for you.
I'm happy you're happy.
I can barely do impressions. Every once in a while, I'll let out one. You know what, dude? And it just sounds like Bill Burr for no reason.
Wake up, wake up, wake up. That was me to you before we
great.
started the show. Yeah. Oh, you do a great Chris Griffin laugh.
Yeah, I do.
And I just look like his voice actor.
You look like Fry.
I look
from
like Fry,
Fry.
Seth Green.
Too Fry. Yeah.
Yeah. No one handsome.
So anyway, yeah.
Your son. How about that?
Yeah, my
It'll
son
all
looks
kind
like
of
handsome
that
boy.
gas and everything else will kind of go away,
Yeah.
and then you know,
Because Archer fucking hates being burped. Hates it so much. He flails. He screams. We can't, like, if we do like a morning feeding at like 7 o'clock in the morning, whatever, we can't do it in our bedroom because our wall is like, we're sharing that with a neighbor. Like, it's like you don't hear really anything, but if they're blasting a TV, you're going to hear it. I'm not going to be able to make out the words. But so, like, a baby screaming their fucking face off, like, they're going to hear that. So,
Yeah.
just to be on the safe side, we don't do it. But, dude, he flails like a little jerk. He headbutt me in the jaw. I'm like, oh, God, he's going to be so bad at math now. It's so scary.
they yeah, but as they get bigger, they sit up. They do like you at the point like where it was like 5-6 months, we were doing the sit ups, and he was like, they get very interactive.
Yeah.
So we try not to like have too much like media and stuff like on like TV and everything else. But
Yeah.
he loves like music. My wife sings to him. He loves like the super simple songs, but I'm trying to introduce him to like some stuff. I tried to introduce him. I was actually telling Christian this before the show. With
Trying to play him some fine arcade production songs. Is that what you're
not
gonna
just
say?
yet, but that will be coming. No,
Good save.
I was trying to show him Sesame Street for the first time, and
Okay.
I tried to. They have like there's like 80s clips, 90s clips. So I found
Right.
Bert and Ernie. I sing myself to sleep or whatever. I sing with all the sheep in the room, and I sat there with him when he was like 6 months, and he just like sat there like. And I'm in the other corner, like, I remember this. Like, I was just like,
blubbering
I
mess.
remember this. And I was so like, why am I sad? Because I showed my son Sesame Street. And he's just like, I don't care.
Yeah, he didn't
But he
care.
likes the super simple songs, like, because they all sing and it's all 2-dimensional cartoons and
Right.
Miss Rachel. So
We
they get
tried
more
Miss
into-
Rachel. That was rough for me. But we do have the dancing fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
like soulless ones that don't like they just have black eyes on the fruits and they just bounce around. And yeah, it sounds like vacation music, honestly. Like if you're like in a like tropical resort and you're in the elevator, that's the music that's playing basically.
Wow.
And it also helps that our TV was a piece of crap. And Heather's dad comes over, and he's an engineer for the military and has fuck you government contract money. And we complained about the TV, and then a new one showed up at our door as a gift from him.
Wow.
That's awesome.
An 8K motherfucker.
Whoa.
Yeah, he set us up. So this thing is like just such crisp coloring and all this other stuff. So
now it's impossible for him to not look at it.
Yeah,
that's the
and
downside.
It's like I don't know how to turn down the backlight because it's so bright, even in like just like regular lighting. And so I'm like, all right, we're gonna play all these colorful things, and I'm gonna sneak in some anime scenes that are very well done because like that's a lot of cool colors. Like Dragon Ball Z superhero movie is fucking
too
wild.
young for Naruto?
The Broly movie is
all,
so fucking
it's all animated.
colorful.
It's worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's animated. Look, honey, it's cartoons.
Yep.
It's all fine.
And then I
Meanwhile, Jack's at home with an 11-month-old. I'm halfway down the stairs. Come on, go to sleep.
Yeah. It's funny how like, and certain things like I've had on like TV shows or YouTube videos where I watch stuff on my own. And there's this one YouTube guy I watch for like action figure reviews, Kyle Peterson. His intro is heavy metal. It's like dun, 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 dun. And like one day he's just staring at it, like, no, don't look at Kyle's stuff. And the rest of the review is just like him reviewing action figures, just talking like he's at his table. But like the intro is just like this heavy metal thing. And I'm like, no, Harrison, no, look. You're gonna
shield your eyes and your ears.
Yeah, because it's all like a montage of like heavy metal for his intro song. And, like,
awesome.
You know, this, and he's just,
So now I want to babysit.
Yeah.
No, this might be the way forward.
Yeah.
it's like no night demon for you. Stop it.
Shielding him from the metal, but also shielding him from the action figures because you want him to keep his disposable income.
Yeah. No God. Yeah.
Daddy has enough. Okay.
Yeah.
He just locks in on the TV sometimes, no matter what we're watching. His big thing that Heather got because of the AK-ness too was nature docs. David Attenborough household, big time.
Right.
And the whole Barack Obama narrated series too, which that dude's voice is butter. It was beautiful. So fucking smooth. And
So who falls
good.
asleep first, you or the baby?
Oh, I don't sleep.
Oh, okay. Well,
I can't.
No, it's like a program. You have to like just stay up.
No, it's Adderall. But no, I can't.
Oh
nap.
no,
I
it's
can't
Adderall.
nap.
That's a contender too.
My nap is me laying down, shutting my brain off, and staring at my phone, playing a game or whatever. I don't like fully fall asleep unless I have like a headache or something. But like,
Wow, sounds horrible.
Oh, dude, I gotta I have to listen to things with headphones in at night. Otherwise, my brain will not shut down, and the run-on sentence will go, and then I'm up until the morning.
Yeah, I get that.
Adderall smooths that out for me, but it also is I don't want to say an upper, but it kind of like keeps you going.
Right.
So do I. But yeah, like we put this stuff on, and I will lock in on that, and he'll knock out, and I'll be like, oh shit, it was like 4 hours. He needs to eat. Do I wake him up?
I've learned that
Like,
don't ever
no,
wake up a sleeping
no,
baby.
The answer is no. You never wake
Never
him
wake up a person sleepwalking. Never wake up a sleeping baby.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Unless they're doing something weird, because we had a bassinet and somehow he ended up just like balled into the corner. I'm like, well, it's
Oh
crib
God,
time.
that's the first couple months. The terrifying. Are they going to die in their sleep? Like that kind of fear was like just wash over. Yeah, you know, it's scary because it's like, are they breathing okay? Can we check if they're breathing okay?
You gotta
and they're
carry-
just like,
You carry around a tiny little mirror. It's like, is that for cocaine? No, it's for putting under my son's nose to check to see if he's still
yeah.
breathing.
What does the app say? Because like, and they have all these things too. Like we have the Nanit, like the Nanit watch thing. But like they had this thing in the beginning. Put this band around their leg, and you know, it monitors their heart rate, their breathing, and apparently the bands would like explode, like the battery inside the band. I'm like, Jesus Christ, no! I'll just stay up and look at him if that's going to be. I'm not going to burn my child. Like some of the
Baby
things
with a peg leg would be
I was
something.
just-
some of the
thinking,
things
like,
with like these
Harrison the
new
Pirate.
parent.
Arr, it be Harrison DeFranco.
Army matey.
Yeah, exactly.
Make me French
Arr,
toast.
Walking into preschool.
Make me the French toast. You know? But like there's all these new age parent things that like
No
even my
string
in-laws, like
peas, so you walk the
my
plank.
father-in-law
I'm
was
done.
like, you know, I don't understand this car seat situation because it's literally like you're like in Apollo 13. The amount of straps and straps and straps and put them in this and this pillow here and everything else. So the baby looks like, you know, this.
And it's bad enough. It's bad enough you gotta swaddle them early.
And they're like,
because
are they breathing okay there? And they're like,
the nurse is trying to teach me how to swaddle this kid, and I'm like, that is.
I never learned how to swaddle.
That is Chipotle burritos level of tight. I don't feel comfortable with this. Like that's too. Like you're restricting his breathing. You gotta be. It's too much.
Yeah.
And then
do
eventually,
this,
it's
and
like
tighten like this.
But it gets to a point too with the swaddle. You have to get the swaddles that don't have his arms tied down because he needs to be able to stop himself from rolling over onto his face and suffocating.
Yeah.
It just gets scarier when
It's
you
just
think,
like one of those
he's older. He'll be able to take care of himself a little better. No, it's just unlocking new fears.
Oh no, it is. Now that mine is 11 months, he sleeps in all different positions in the bed. Like there's one point where he literally turned around like a clock throughout the night. He's like this, and just like the other night he was in the corner, hunched over like this. It's like, is he? And you're at the point now where like, is he okay in there? I'm like, yeah, he's fine. It's like Homer Simpson on The Simpsons. Like, how are the boys doing back there on the water skis? Yeah, they're fine. And the water skis are just flailing. It's yeah, but all these new like things for parents, like my in-laws were like, we never had this. We just had like a bucket. You sat it in the car, and that was it. And you strapped up. And now it's just like...
Yeah, well, it's also 60 years later, so...
Yeah. But some stuff I feel is like overprotective. Like the whole put the band on them. It's like, if this thing is blowing up a child's leg, then maybe we need to rethink some of the things that, we do.
Exactly.
Like, 'cause everybody's house turns... I always use the analogy... Everyone's house turns into a Target display when you have a child. Oh, we have this and this and this. It's like all the things that are on the top shelf. Like your whole house is just...
I somehow ended up with 2 baby monitors from between the shower and people going off, like, off list. Yeah, just like, okay, now we're going to test which one works. One has its own little device. One I can use an app. And so I just, like, tried to jailbreak my... I have an old iPad, and I tried to jailbreak it. It turns out I just deleted all the apps by accident. Whatever. So now it's just our baby monitor. So that's, it's cool. But also, every once in a while, you'll just see some lights flickering. It's like, oh, ghosts.
It's gotta be.
Gotta be. There's a ghost in there with my kid. Whatever. As long as it's like a friendly guy or one that's gonna.
Is it Casper or is it Valak?
What's Valak?
From Conjuring.
Oh shit!
That's some dark shit.
Sorry. Well, listen. Isn't there always a baby? Okay, Vigo. How's Vigo? Does that make you feel better? Probably not.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Just make him a fucking...
We're talking about a matter of degree.
A monarch from the... Oh, I don't even remember. Was he Dutch?
Carpathian.
Yeah. Close enough.
Come on, Jack. Where were you with that?
I'm tired. I'm a new dad.
Oh, sorry.
I haven't watched Ghostbusters since before he was born.
Wow. Yeah. I'm the only sharp one in the room. That's a first.
Yeah, I have a list of shows and movies that I want to watch. Because my job, I can't take paternity leave until I'm there for a year, but I can't go past his first birthday. My start date, it was October 28th. So I'll have all of November off. And he'll be almost 1. So, obviously I'm going to have to take care of him in a big way, but, he'll be a little more self-reliant. He'll be
Harrison's age.
Yeah.
Fun, running around or not running around, it's just like being active. Like he learns there's something like my son's learned to like play by himself. We've kind of been like, all right, we can't just sit with him all the time because he's just gonna. And it's also the separation thing of like he has to learn how to like mom and dad can't always be attached to you kind of thing. So he's in the playpen a lot, and he's into trucks now. So he's very much into the whole. Oh wow, this like moves back and forth.
Moves. I can
clash this and all these like other toys. So he's very much like getting to the point where like just let him be. And I'll go clean something, or go take a nap and I'll watch him, or vice versa. So at that point when he's 11 months, it's like a little bit more self-reliant, but he's also very interactive to the point where we just started taking him to the park, and he goes on the swing, and he's like, oh, this is fun. Like, he goes back and forth.
There's still wonder to it.
Oh yeah, there's still like yesterday I was sitting with him. I just got off of work. And he was in his walker. So he's running around like a crazy man, like, and I put my feet on the walker to kind of keep an eye on him because I was watching something on TV. And I was like going back and forth with this and backward. And he's just like, like a madman, like, this is the greatest thing I've ever eaten. And I'm just like,
and you're checked out. As checked out as can be.
I had a really tough day at work, and I just need 5 minutes to just watch some Family Guy.
Buddy, could you calm down? Calm down?
No, but it's so much fun though to watch him just be like, this is so much fun. I'm just moving my foot.
Yeah.
Like he's in his walker.
But for him, it's as good as it gets.
It's the greatest thing. Yeah.
Archer has 2 favorite toys already. And I feel like it's developing him to be the nerd I want him to be. One is a teether. that is just a classic Game Boy.
That's fantastic.
That's amazing.
And the other one is and I swear to God, at first I didn't realize what it was. It's got a mouse face. It's got like this round body with little spikes on it, and it's blue. I'm like, holy fuck, it's a hedgehog. He's going to be a Sonic fan. Let's go.
Oh, I've been making a list for when Harry, like, of all the modern movies, of like when he gets to a certain age, I want to sit and watch some of these movies. I don't want to watch Minions 19 or whatever.
No, but
like,
you're gonna
I got to
get it.
show him some. I put the Wild Robot on the list. I put the Sonic movies on the list. This new Looney Tunes movie's on the list for sure. Christian, I'm sure, is smiling in that booth somewhere.
It's so good.
I
yes,
want to
of course
see
he's
it.
been.
I'm a lifelong. Listen, I grew up a Looney Tunes kid, not a Disney kid. So that's, you know.
they put that
There's
shit
one
on
thing I
Netflix.
want to say though,
It-
Joe. You just trained your kid to destroy your controllers when you get older, though.
Oh yeah, no, I have a thing where I'm gonna if he wants to do something that I definitely don't want him to do, I was like, you get to do it when you beat Lion King level 4 on Super Nintendo.
I thought we
And
were
then I
saving
know
that
he's
for when
never
he
gonna
gets
do
the
it.
car.
It might be when he wants a car, but it might be something else. But
Yeah,
if
it
I
depends
need to
how
put a
young he is.
wall in front of this kid to not get something that I'm like, okay, I'll give you a shot, kid. Try to do this. It's impossible.
Yeah.
That game's ridiculous.
I do remember that. I don't remember that level specifically, but I remember playing that game because a neighbor.
Yeah, I
had it.
was mostly like rented it from Blockbuster. Yeah, this sucks. I'm not good at this.
No.
But that was every video game because I sucked at
Well,
every
yeah,
video game.
I remember beating the Aladdin game for Super Nintendo.
Yeah, because
but-
you hit pause, you hit AABB, and it skips the entire fucking level.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know
That
that.
I found that out on
Yeah.
the Sega.
Oh,
Yep.
Damn.
well, a little late now. Had I known 30 years ago.
Yep.
But
Another thing
we
I
are.
found out, and completely tangent, but the original Mario game for NES, if you game over and you hold, I think it's hold B until you're back at the start screen, and then you hit start while holding B, you'll just go to the beginning of that world. You don't start the whole fucking game over. So if you're on
Interesting.
world 4 whatever, die and game over, you can start back at world 4-1.
interesting.
30-something years later, I could have actually played through the entire thing.
So similarly, in talking about movies and video games and all this other stuff, what is it you guys are most excited to share with your sons? Of course, risking the fact that who knows if it's going to translate with them or if it's going to resonate with them. But what is it you're most excited to actually introduce them to and say, this is...
So for me, I've always wished I had a button on my brain I can press to not remember how movies or games are so I can do it for the first time again.
Totally.
Oh, that would
And
be
now I'm going to be able to see my kid watch my favorite shit or play my favorite shit and watch that as though it was me for the first time and just kind of live that moment again.
Vicariously,
And I am
yeah.
so excited for that. And I'm just, with my luck, he will fucking hate everything I love. Just how
Yeah.
I'm mentally preparing myself. He's like, I joke about it. I'm like, I'm going to be the opposite of a sitcom dad. I'm going to be a nerd dad with a jock kid. It's gonna suck. Like, you know, my example is always that 70s show. You had Red Foreman, the big Green Bay Packers guy, and his son who wouldn't shut the fuck up about Star Wars, and he hated it.
Right.
And I'm gonna go deep into Darth Vader's entire backstory, and my kid's gonna be begging me to teach him how to throw a spiral.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
But
Dad, can we go see the Giants game? You know, it's like Archer, no.
yeah.
I don't even like that cartoon. It's stupid.
How dare you?
I don't like cartoons. I'd rather
stupid.
just like read books without images. Like,
Yeah. I mean, you could have named me Krieger.
you're nuts. Oh my god.
Krieger Weber sounds like a Bond villain, actually.
Honestly.
So.
Yeah.
That's both words are very German.
Krieger Weber.
Yeah.
Sounds like one name, actually. I'm going to
Honestly.
use that in
And
something.
Weber is
Krieger Weber.
Weber is supposed to be German for I haven't confirmed this myself.
Well,
but
it's all right. We don't do fact
to
checking.
weave in and out of things, which is describes my driving pattern. So
Oh, okay. I was going to say you should have been a cat burglar. But
yeah, but no, yeah, that's what I'm excited for. Just honestly, I'm such a big fan of One Piece, the anime, and really the manga because I'm reading it and catching up to that. I know it's probably gonna be done by the time he's old enough to.
Isn't that like
understand it.
1,000 episodes or something?
It's still going. Yeah.
Yes. I
So it's not One Piece.
Yeah, it's one really, really, really big piece.
It's a big ass piece.
huge piece.
Yeah. It's like a 10-pound baby.
Right.
Like, that's how big it is.
I call it Grey's Anatomy for anime nerds, basically. Like
Okay.
it's the same.
Grey's anime. Yeah.
Dude, Heather said that she would watch One Piece if I would watch Grey's Anatomy, and I did the math. It's about the same because that show's still going
That
too.
show's
That's
been
a
on for
legit.
20
That's a
years.
primetime
Yeah.
soap opera. Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom's like, I still watch it just because I watched it from the beginning. And I'm like, yeah, when I was in college 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, that's
That
what
seems
it
like a
seemed.
lot.
Yeah, I told her we'll do a podcast and we'll call it like One Anatomy or Grey Piece or something, and just like we review the
Compare
episodes that we
notes.
watched, in that time frame. The whole show.
Sure.
But I want him to watch it because there are so many here's the thing about One Piece. It's good at the beginning. And then you hit episode 37 and you will never stop. Because it has such a moment of fuck around, find out camaraderie things that you like wish somebody would fight this hard for you. And I'm in forever.
37. Try not to watch any
Yeah,
One Piece all the way in the
exactly.
parking lot.
Try not to touch any pieces on the way to the parking lot. Yeah.
And then around episode 400 or so, I cried over a boat. I cried over a fucking boat. And I'll watch a clip of it right now and get choked up, might even let one roll down my cheek. It's honestly that good of a story. Reading it, watching it, whatever. And unlike other anime, there's no real filler. Like you get Naruto that's like, I think 50%. I think One Piece is less than 10%. To make up for that, the pacing can kind of suck. But somebody actually created something called One Pace, which cuts out like the prolonged looking and like
right.
extended stupid scenes and stuff,
To
flashbacks,
the meat of the show.
the meat and
basically.
potatoes,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
takes that 1,000 episodes and I think it brings it down to like 400 something.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really good.
Do the books, or I should say, does the cartoon follow the books?
To
The
a T.
show? Really?
To a T. They take no liberty because that's how good of a story it is.
That's impressive.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dudes here do a show. They got 100. I think they had 100,000 subscribers. Is that One Piece talk at
Yeah.
Bravery Studios?
100,000
actually.
piece.
Yeah, they do. No, they get huge audience, and these dudes are
No, that's
way
awesome.
into it,
Yeah.
and they talk about it. And
I
I'm like,
appreciate stuff like that. As a like, I just, for me, I can't. I tried Dragon Ball Z because that was the craze in middle school,
Right.
And that was my only experience with it. And I was like, I don't know, I don't get it. But I'm sure there's something out there, like if I really wanted to. Like
you
an
look for your
anime thing.
gateway anime.
I could probably.
I'm sure there'd be something I'd be like, okay, fuck it, I'm in. Like I'm
I
sure
can
there's
probably
some-
give you a couple recommendations. Just talk like you tell me the shows that you've watched and enjoyed, or cartoons that you watched and enjoyed. I will find one and tailor it to you. But also they have ones that are like short series. Like you get one of the best animes of all time is Cowboy Bebop, and it is only 26 episodes.
My first anime
and a movie.
and it didn't do it for me. I couldn't get into it. I love the music.
Oh yeah, my
music is
buddy has
amazing,
a vinyl of the music for it.
Now, so my friend used to buy the Japanese import CDs of because they got released in Japan.
Yeah.
and the music was awesome. I just could not get into it.
Well, here's the thing too. As somebody who doesn't watch anime, your first one should be one with a good dub. No subtitles, great voice acting in English. It's a good way to transition into the medium. And there are a lot of them that do that very well. You get Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo. It's a mix of like Edo era samurais and hip hop. The whole show, it slaps. And it's, again, only 26 episodes. And then there's a list of 10 greatest anime shows of all time. And Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood has stood atop this list for decades. Until recently, one passed it for a certain amount of time. I think it still might be there. It's called Frieren. I still haven't picked that up. 'Cause I haven't had
Dog
time.
Girl.
What?
Dog Girl.
I don't know that one.
Oh my!
Voice of
No,
God.
from Full Metal Alchemist, the sequel
Oh
show.
no! Don't talk about it because I want them to be traumatized in the same way.
My sister recommended me that. That was my starter anime. It's
because
so
the
good.
dub is that good. You can watch it in complete English. The
Interesting.
story is great. And I think it's like 70 something episodes, and that's it.
And it's on Hulu.
And it's on Hulu.
Brotherhood specifically, because I know there've been different incarnations of Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist had its own run earlier, and then it caught up to the source material, the manga. And so they went their own direction with the storyline. It's still very good. And it ends on a movie that ties it all together with a nice bow.
Nice.
Great.
Okay.
And then they went back and redid the whole thing to follow the manga to a T. And that was perfect. Yeah. Like that one meme that you see, perfect in every way. Like Homelander saying it that way.
Right.
Exactly that. Like is this show. And you can watch it with English dub. No subtitles, no nothing. And it's fantastic.
Okay.
It's great. So
yeah, it's a thing. Like I feel like our kids' generations are probably going to grow up more of that because it's so much more ingrained in the culture. Like anime is more ingrained now than it was 25 years ago when somebody, hey, you should watch this Dragon Ball Z cartoon.
Well, it is now, but it's going to pass. Like by the time your kids are 10, it's going to be something else.
With my kid, like I'm a massive Star Wars fan.
What?
Yeah, I might have told you once or twice.
It may have come up.
But I would love to show him. I'm going to, but like I want to show him, but I don't have any expectations of he's going to love this because the thing is with Star Wars now, it's so different and splintered. There's different flavors of ice cream kind of thing. And he might feel about Star Wars the way I feel about The Wizard of Oz. Wow, this is really old and creepy, and I don't fucking like this. He might, and it might, like, I'm not going to sit there and cry. I just have to be like, he might like this, he might like that. He might, like, there might be something, but there's so many things now with Star Wars where it's like,
right.
I could show him the original films. Films are easy, one and done, whatever.
Which one would you start with?
The original.
That's I was going to say, what order are you going in?
I'm going New Hope first. Like, you have to understand the original trilogy first, go to the backstory, go to the new films, whatever. Go from there.
You don't want to start off with trade meetings about tariffs and things like that.
No.
Because
then you seriously would be, what the hell is
this is boring as shit, Dad.
Yeah. But then, but there's so many other things. Like there's TV series and I'll introduce him to The Mandalorian. But then he's got to watch the Book of Boba Fett. And he's got to tie this one into this. And it's like, that's exhausting for like a kid to think about that.
It's exhausting
the
now.
MCU.
That's what I was just saying. I haven't even picked up Hawkeye fully.
Yeah.
Like I finished Loki because that was great.
I watched the first season. I wasn't too crazy, but I heard the second season was good.
So good. The ending was, again, perfect. Because Tom Hiddleston picked up a line for one of the last lines he has in the entire show, and it's a callback in the most beautiful way. And he thought about it while he was on. They were trying to figure out what he's going to say in the scene, and he just went for a run, and it hit him, and he came back, and he said it, and he stunned the entire cast. And they're like, yeah, that's it. And it took him like one take.
That's just so splintered too. Like the MCU is like, do I start my son with Iron Man, but at the time he's like 6, it'll be like a 20-some-odd-year-old movie, and it's one of those things.
It's 17 years old this year, so yeah.
Like I don't know. Like I want to show him this stuff. It's like, oh yeah, this was this, and this links to this. But like, I also want to be like, we should watch No Way Home because there's 3 other Spider-Mans, and then there's 2 other Spider-Mans, and all these Spider-Mans. Unless he's obsessed with Spider-Man, and that's like one thing. Like, hey, have I got something for you?
No,
like,
you just say, fuck it. The only Spider-Man is Miles Morales, and show him across the universe.
I still have not seen those, but those are on the kids' list to watch.
Dude.
I got outvoted the day I wanted to see Across the Universe. My brother-in-law and my wife were like, let's go see Aquaman.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And I still haven't seen Spider-Man yet.
Across the Spider-Verse is one of the greatest movies I've ever watched.
I've heard nothing but
I know. I haven't seen either of those 2 movies either.
Yeah.
It is fantastic, and I'm super upset because they did such a good job with the first 2 movies. Like the second one is great too.
Yeah.
I think it's called
the names are Spider-Verse.
Into is the first one. Across is the second one.
Across the second one, and then Beyond is the next one that keeps getting delayed.
Right. So which one? Into or Across is the one you're saying is
the
best?
First one.
The first one is
fantastic.
Gotcha.
Is one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. The second one is also very, very good, but you get the way they have it. It makes me feel like Back to the Future. It could have ended perfectly after the first one. The second one was great, but left off with the cliffhanger that's going to be tied up by the third one.
Right.
It's the empire of the...
Yeah, it's Empire Strikes Back of the Spider-Man.
Basically, yeah.
Except you got to wait years in between them because that's the way movies are made now.
Well, that and COVID kind of hit that
Well,
development pretty
and
hard.
the special effects work too. Like that was another
Right.
thing. The post production work
the
is
art,
like
the art of it is ridiculous.
well, that's it. And people
that,
being
and then
pushed.
Phil Lord and Chris Miller just keep changing the story. Like
Yeah.
a lot of stories have been coming out where like animators are like sick and tired of them because they keep.
That's why they got
changing.
fired from Solo.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
They
That's
got
a point.
fired from Solo because they tried to make a straight up Star Wars comedy.
Yeah.
And that's what they had told Kathleen Kennedy they were going to do. And then they were like, this is not Star Wars. And we're just like, yeah, no.
We're gonna make a Star Wars comedy.
Yeah.
All right, greenlit.
Yeah.
Okay, we're making a Star Wars comedy.
What are you
What?
doing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah. It seems like that's the way things
Who
are
told
running.
you you could do that?
Wait,
that
don't
seems
do-
to be the way.
You
yeah.
did.
Things have been going.
No,
yeah.
I didn't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, even when it comes to, because I'm thinking about like your taste, like I don't know when. I mean, we've talked about this before, but like I don't even know when you would start a kid on like Batman. Because granted, I saw Batman '89 when I was 8,
Yeah.
and
I'm not showing
I'm kind
him-
of surprised. Like, I mean, it
I'll
wasn't-
show them The Dark Knight. It's like, hey, listen, when you're like 10 or 11, let's watch these movies. These are like a perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
But like as a kid, I'm like, I remember seeing The Dark Knight and thinking like, this would have fucked me up if I watched this
Oh,
as
God,
a kid.
yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
actually like from a, not a,
But I don't think
not
Batman
horror,
resonates.
but like from a thriller, like a suspense level, it's just like, Jesus, this is a lot.
But Batman doesn't really
you know?
resonate as much with kids as a Spider-Man does.
Well, that's it.
So
I was going to
so-
say Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man might be the place to start and see
Yeah.
if he's into superheroes that
For
way.
an origin story, absolutely.
Because that, yeah,
I
because
would
like
think so.
X-Men, nah, you can't really start with that. Batman, too dark. Even again, that was my introduction, but that's all there was at the time, and it was inescapable in 1989.
That's the
but
thing.
Now there's a lot to choose
That spanned
from.
a lot of like, it was targeted a lot to kids and people all over. But like, I wouldn't show my son the Robert Pattinson Batman movie.
No.
He'd be in therapy.
I mean,
Like,
even Iron Man is still pretty adult. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
it's not you
honestly,
couldn't
I
watch
think
it
we
with a
should just
10-year-old.
start all kids with the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie and see how they go from there.
Or just start them off with Taxi Driver, same thing.
Yeah,
you
that
know,
works too.
Just make them watch Taxi Driver, and followed by King of Comedy, and skip the Joker, and then make them watch Chicago, and they can pretend it's the Joker sequel. So
And
there
then
you
finish
go.
it off with Rent because fucking musicals.
I'm so shocked at that. I thought everybody, because I felt like I was the only one in 2019 that was like, this movie's not that great. Like, it's a little. Honestly, I walked out of it like, I don't feel good. Like, after I watched it, I was like, ugh. Feel
Joaquin
like
Phoenix.
the Joaquin
Yeah.
Phoenix. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my
Yeah.
God, that was
Yeah.
like.
I thought it was a great
Yeah.
story. It was definitely made to make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. I was on the whole ride home. I was like, Jesus
Finding
Christ.
out that he was like delusional with the neighbor chick, and I was like, this isn't good anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't root for anybody in this movie.
Yeah.
See, I've never even seen it. Number one, because I literally saw it. I was just like, this looks like he looks like Travis Bickle. Like this seems like Taxi Driver, just remade, and that seems to be the consensus with the splash of King of Comedy, particularly at the end.
Yeah.
But I'm sick to death of origin stories, and who's to blame for that? Star Wars. For episode 1, we need Darth Vader's origin story. It's like he was always a genius. This is pod racing.
And-
Like,
and
no, he
that's-
wasn't. He was a fucking idiot kid, like the rest of us. But then it's like we got to do Maleficent, and we got to do all these other origin stories, and I'm like, I
Mufasa.
just don't need it. Yeah, well, I mean that's something nobody asked for, but I don't know how
Yeah,
it
that
did
made money.
business-wise.
I don't understand.
Yeah, okay, so I don't know because I haven't
It
paid
wasn't
attention.
terrible, but like it was cool to find out the name. But I found out that Scar's real name was Taka, which in Swahili Mufasa means king. Taka means garbage. How
Wow.
mean are these kids? Like parents?
Wow.
It's so fucked up.
So like you root for Scar at the end, like, oh, he's right to throw him off the mountain. And
Yeah.
Yeah, is that what
Kinda.
happens? Yeah, it's like he was always treated like garbage, so
Yeah.
maybe he was right. But he was justified. See, I don't like that. Like, why can't the villain just be evil and that's it? And that's one of the things for dozens of reasons we
bad
could all
because
list
he's
off.
bad.
But that's one of the reasons. Yes, bad for the sake of bad. That's what the Heath Ledger Joker was. It's like we don't need an origin story, and that's why even though it was a standalone like Joker,
And
I'm like,
that's the
I
thing
don't need
about
to
the
know.
Joker.
I love the fact that he comes from nowhere. I mean, I understood why they did it in Batman '89, but I'm like, can't he just be evil? Do we need to understand? Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's why. Oh, Maleficent was attacked, and that's why she hated the
It's
king
because
and the
we're
queen.
in the
and
feelings
blah, blah,
era.
blah.
Like,
Well, that's-
I know
yeah,
we
I'm
joke
like,
about it a
let's
lot,
stop.
but
I wasn't sympathetic with Jack Nicholson. Like, he's a badass. He's an asshole.
Yeah,
now
he's
he's
a
an even
bad
bigger
character.
asshole.
Dance
And
with the devil in pale moonlight.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Now he's got a he's a monkey with a gun. Like he's just unhinged. He's just
and that's the thing with the Joker. He still, to this day in the comic books, does not have a full backstory.
Right.
Yeah.
You have hints of what it might have been, and then sometimes they're like, no, actually, we were playing you. That's not really it.
Right.
And it got to the point where there was a Joker plotline within Batman where there were 3 of them, all with different personalities and things that they did throughout Batman's history.
Wow.
One of them killed Jason Todd.
Right.
One of them, like, they all had their own thing because it was kind of like taking all those backstories, making them all real, and then none of them were.
Yeah.
It was
Wow.
because he's such the enigmatic character that he can't have one. It's
Right.
like the rule of the comic books. You don't give him a full backstory in main continuity.
Right. And
if
but
you
that's
want to do
why
it,
it's
going to be
compelling.
an Elseworld story,
Yeah.
and that's it.
And that's what I mean. Like, that's why the origin stories I've never been a big fan of. And even again, for something like this, which was a standalone, I'm like, I don't need an analysis about mental health and all of this. Like, I don't need to. I'm not going to a DC movie for that. Sorry, especially DC circa 2019. I'm like, these movies
Hell
have all been
no.
shitty. I'm like, I'm not looking at them from the director of Old School comes Taxi Driver. Like, I don't need it. So I just wasn't interested anyway. But I feel like it was new to everybody who hadn't seen some older movies. And, that was, I mean, Tarantino pointed out at the time, like, this is what we're doing. We're taking movies from the 70s and remaking them. And that's kind of what I thought. I'm like, I've already seen a superior version of this. I kind of don't need to be there. So you don't start with the Joker is kind of what we're saying. It's
I'm
like,
kind of
don't
hyped
show
about
that to
this
your-
new Superman movie because it's not an order. Like, Superman is always like, oh, the first hero on the scene. No, he's coming in onto the scene as the new hero, but everyone else already exists.
Yeah.
So he's getting the
I'm
new
very
guy
honestly.
feel.
I'm very excited for this.
Yeah,
Superman
I am
movie.
too.
I
Because
really,
also
really am.
Puppy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious, but I've never cared about Superman as a character. He's kind of a boring character. to me.
I fucking love Superman, and here's my reasoning behind it. He is the most powerful thing in existence. He has the capability, if he wanted to just do whatever he wanted and take over that goddamn planet. And he doesn't. And that means he is genuinely a good person.
Yes.
I say to my son every morning before I leave for work, be good. And not in a way like, be good so your mom doesn't lose her fucking mind. I want him to be a good person. I want him to be Superman good. I want him to be Spider-Man good, because those characters are genuinely good people.
Right.
And you can tell that because if they wanted to, they could be the worst fucking thing in existence in their
Yeah.
worlds.
That's why The Boys is a thing.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Wow.
can see how that goes.
That's kind of
So that's my justification for why Superman is a great hero, because he's literally a great person.
And it's one of those things too with this new movie. Like our kids could grow up with it and be like, "That's my favorite movie." Like, yeah, it's gonna be one by the time or whatever it comes out. But like, if it resonates with people and people are still talking about it, like when he's like 4 or 5, like, hey, put that
watch
on
it.
and be like, see how he feels, kind of thing. So. I'm
Let's
very
stream it on
excited
one of
for the new
15
opportunity.
streaming services we have, because it'll be on one of them, and then
and then first of the next month it'll be on another one because that's where we are.
or by then we'll have cable companies actually packaging them all together finally and getting through. We don't give a fuck about actual cable or phone lines.
Just
give us the internet and package the
We're
the
talking
streaming
about these
services.
unnecessary prequels and stuff. Mufasa that just came out. Would you have cared more if it was animated in the original Lion King style? Like if it was a 2D animated prequel about Scar? and
No,
Mufasa?
because I
Or
didn't
would
care
it
about
still
Lion
be-
King 2.
Ah,
You know what I mean?
Honestly, with the whole, like the nostalgia of it, probably be like, you know
Just
what?
to know.
Yeah. I'd be more interested if it was 2D.
I'll tell you what I did care about, though, and because it was the same movie from a different perspective. Lion King 1.5. It's the entire first Lion King movie from Timon and Pumbaa's point of view,
right.
from the start.
Right.
Really?
It is such a fun way to watch it.
it's hilarious.
Yeah, it is really, really funny. Because notice things going on in the background that are like definitely like, oh, I remember this part of the movie.
Right.
And it is genuinely funny.
So it's a little Back to the Future
Yeah,
too.
if you get a chance, give that one a watch.
Okay.
I think it's got the original voice cast and everything. But yeah,
I think
it's
so.
really,
That
really
was the
good.
straight to DVD era for Disney
sure.
in the 90s. Yeah, yeah.
But it very underrated. But yeah, that's my feel on Superman for sure.
I think that's a poetic note to go out on. I think that's the right note to go
good.
on. Be good.
Be good. Yeah.
That's exactly the message you want to
Say it
send
to my son
to
every
your
morning.
sons.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I
feel
want my
like
son
that's
to, like, one last thing. Like, I know, again, he might not be interested in this or that, what I like, but I want to see what he's interested in. I'm very excited for that. Like, if he loves baseball, I'll get it. Let's go get a bunch of baseball cards. Let's go play out in the field. Let's do stuff like that. Like, you're into anime or whatever, I'll sit and watch this with you. Like, I don't have any qualms of like, no, he's just got to, sit and watch my wrestling with me. I would love for that to happen.
Dad, I love Chapel Roan.
Yeah. Who?
Exactly.
Is that a dish?
That's great.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I'd
excited for
agree
that
with
because I
that.
like watching people do things that they're great at. So if my son comes into something that I never expected I would enjoy, but I can see him doing well at it and enjoying the shit out of it, I'm going to be there in a big way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you want to be an artist? You want to be an athlete? You want to be a scientist? You want to be a doctor? Like, my
I'm there,
brother-in-law is like, oh, our kids are going to be like wrestlers when they grow up. I'm like, I don't want my kid taking bumps like that. No,
my
I
kid
want him to be a
is not
doctor.
playing football. I don't care. My kid is built like a lineman already. He will not be putting on that fucking football helmet.
Yeah.
Straight up.
I just don't want to be a
no
cop or a
CTs.
fireman or go in the military. I don't want to like be at any kind of risk. That's my only like.
Well, naturally,
Yeah.
that's your instinct as a father.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Other than that, follow your passion. Do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Wow. Well, I've learned a lot. I
Unless
gotta
it's
say.
a felony.
Yeah. Then maybe don't.
Yeah. As long as you're consenting adults, I guess. But that's it. Wow. Well, it's been a roller coaster of emotions to call back to Jack from like 13
Yes.
years ago. It really has. So I don't know. I mean, you guys are happy. That's the thing. You guys are
Sure,
both excited to be dads. You wanted to be for
It's
a
the
long
best job
time.
in the world.
You're here.
I leave work after a shitty day. I come home. I see that kid, and I want to bottle him as an antidepressant.
Aw.
Yeah.
The stupid joke I make is like I would bottle him as an antidepressant and start a whole pharmaceutical company and just make billions of dollars because that's how effective he is. I'll call it pacifizer. Yep.
Dang.
Excellent.
Trying
We're
to
not
write
gonna
that.
beat
Trying
that.
to write that out and trying to think of like the names of antidepressants that everybody knows. All I could come up with was Wambian and Xanax, and it didn't work. But pacifizer hit me, and I was
Pacifizer
like,
is-
"Fuck
yes.
yeah, dude!"
Yes.
Oh, it was fun.
Every single person
it's
gets
true.
that.
Uh-huh.
Everybody's laughing.
Yep.
Right
It's
now.
true.
Thank
like,
you, COVID, because I didn't know Pfizer beforehand.
You heard it here. Joe Weber's taking the controversial pro-COVID stance.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jack.
It's true. Like, one of those things, like, you have a really tough day at work or anything else. And like, to kind of give a background on my little situation before we go, like, my wife and I have been watching our son and working at the same time because, like I said, my in-laws moved away. My family's a little bit down south, and like my mom's preoccupied with my sister's kids. And so we don't really have any help until like later this spring. He's going to go back into daycare. We had him in daycare. He got really sick. He got COVID at one point. We all got COVID, and that was just very jarring because I had never had COVID. And we see your son who had COVID, and because of croup and everything else, like all that stuff, it's just like during flu and cold season, we're like, we'll just watch him from home, and that's it. It can be tough. It's like, oh man, it's like, but it's also one of those things like, I'm going to miss him when he's not here. When we're like, it's good to, I can concentrate on my job. My wife can concentrate on her job, but I'm also going to kind of miss him. And it's like, you want him to kind of like go to preschool. It's cool for him to go to daycare, interact with other people, but you're also just like, I want him here. But I also know it's very hard for me to have him here because I can't concentrate on the thing I need to do that brings money into this house that pays for all his diapers and bottles and everything.
Right.
And you're just, it's a weird conundrum. But like at the end of the day, like 5 o'clock, I'm like, I punch out and I guess I make a joke. I go to my next job, taking care of him. And it's my favorite job because the next 3 hours when he's up, it's like, all right, bud, let's sit and play trucks, or let's stand, or let's eat. And, you know,
Let me hold you back from walking around in a circle with my foot so I can watch some TV.
I have. I
It's
use
great.
my phone at
It's
work
great.
to as a, like an. I have to I have to like thumbprint verify myself on certain things in the bank, but I have it there on my desk so I can do that. But every time I'm like, I hate this place. I hate this place. I hate this place. Clicked onto my lock screen. There he is. There she is. I'm good.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing.
It's like the
this for.
Simpsons thing. Don't forget
it
you're
for
here
her.
forever. Do it for,
Do it for her. Yep.
Aw.
Straight up.
Well, if you want more of this sappy nonsense, you can follow these two gentlemen. Links in the description down below. And possibly adventures in fatherhood. Certainly, Joe Weber does jokes. Is his handle. Lots of posts. I think pretty much public posts with
Yeah.
the
I'll
father-oriented stuff.
Yeah, I have shows coming up.
Oh,
So
that's
I will
right. Yeah, you go see Joe do stand-up. Yeah, how can we forget?
I do stand-up scarcely because, I got to be close to home in case of an emergency. So I'm still so scared to venture out too far. But, I will not hesitate to use how adorable my kid can be to advertise
to get
some
bookings.
shows.
Hey,
to
look what
advertise
you're
some
feeding.
shows.
All right.
Yeah.
You just
I
hold up
should
the
definitely
photo.
start doing that. Send it to bookers like, hi, here's my tape, and here's my son that will starve if you say no, dick, and see how that works. Just kidding. All bookers watching, please just book me anyway.
Book him because he's funny.
Yeah.
How about that? Not because he's an overtired father.
Yeah.
Overtired, over-medicated father. So, yeah. But yeah,
Love it.
follow
Joe
these
Weber
guys.
does jokes on all the things.
All the things. Oh, wait, I forgot. Before we go, sorry, there is one little PS.
Shit.
I have been hanging on to something for a long time. Now,
Bring it up with a therapist.
No.
Oh, different. Okay.
No,
Something physical.
only you, Joe Weber, can complete the
Put out
circle on
forest
this. So now, okay, last time you were on the show was the 2023 Halloween live stream, but the time before that, we had heavy food
I
discussions.
already
about
know
everything.
what it fucking is.
Oh, I assure you, you do not. If I hadn't seen this, I wouldn't have believed it was real. I would have thought, okay, that's photoshopped. There's no chance in hell that that is a real product. However, if we can stay on, Joe, I am going to sit beside you and present it. Because, again, if I saw a photo of this, it would have been like, no chance. So I had to buy it to prove it. And already it's been worth every penny. So...
It's either Skittles related because of the one clip, or it's Doritos because of who I am as a person. Doritos eyeshadow palette. Well, that's it.
Oh, look at
I
the
will be a
colors.
drag queen next weekend.
Look at the colors.
Oh my god,
Open it up and
it
look at the
opened. There's
colors.
several colors, and they're all. Oh my god, there's a little mirror. Oh my god, I hope. You know what would have been amazing is like, yes, it's makeup, but if it was also like the
Edible?
dust from the actual Doritos, like that you lick off your fingers. It's like, oh well, now I gotta get rid of the bags under my eyes too.
Now here's the funny
I
part.
kind of want to make like Sting's face paint
That.
of just making a Dorito.
Oh well, in that case, Joe is back in the Halloween live stream if we do one this
is
year.
So good,
Dude,
I'm just
listen,
gonna dress up like a bag of Doritos.
just to point out, found that on clearance at Marshall's. 0 nacho cheese, plenty of Cool Ranch. So
Yeah, because it's a great flavor.
yeah, but that's why nobody bought it when it was full price. So there you go. Anyway, I literally
Maybe the
if I
nacho
saw
cheese
it-
was sold
Nacho
out though.
cheese is like plain Cheerios of
Wah,
Doritos.
wah, wah, wah,
Just
wah. Go
saying.
back.
All the
Everybody-
hookers want the nacho cheese ones when they're doing the makeup.
And that's enough of Joe Weber this evening. ladies and
Hey.
Yeah.
gentlemen.
Kate
Relax.
231, if you want to go back to us fighting about Joe defending Cool Ranch Doritos. And there are a lot of people out there who are on board with this. I'm not.
Bread your chicken nuggets with it.
But-
Thank me later.
God. Anyway, Kate 231, if you want to check out that
I
entire
don't
debate.
dislike them.
But,
I just don't go out of my way to eat them.
I just want new
you're on the
flavors.
right track.
Which I do Doritos reviews on all my social medias and they're fun, but I also get donations, like not donations, but like people find bags
People
and
send
other,
them to you, yeah.
from like Canada and shit. So there's like French rating on all of that, and I have like 9 bags because I'm so far behind. I don't even know if they're good anymore. But I'm like, okay, so the flavor's great. It's rubber because
Yeah.
it's stale, but it's great.
I
Like,
think I
you
chipped
know?
a tooth, but
Yeah.
tastes good.
But yeah,
The
no,
dust is still coming off.
This is hilarious, dude.
I can't believe that was actually a thing. But if I saw that on social media, I would be like, oh, that's photoshopped. There's no way there was a Doritos eyeshadow palette. Oh, yes, the hell
What
there
other
was.
Doritos products could there be?
Apparently, I'm just like, someone at Frito-Lay signed off on this, and I cannot believe it. So
It's so
that,
funny.
my friend, is for you, possibly for your baby mama, if you wish to share. I don't know what her
Why can't it
feelings
be
are
for
in
my
Cool
baby?
Ranch. It could be a little weird at 3 months, but, listen.
Listen, if they don't want drag queens reading to kids, why not just make the kids drag queens?
I mean, that's
Cut out the middleman.
Slightly controversial stance, but
Let the kids do what they want. Free speech.
yeah, there you go. That's day one. Send him with Cool Ranch dust on his face to preschool or daycare.
No one will fuck with him.
Yeah, actually, while we're talking about it, in U.S. in 2025, maybe. Or 2020, I guess next year, whatever. Anyway, whatever. Subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. All the links are down in the description below. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming in and sharing your tender-hearted, sappy stories.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I
Always
enjoyed
for
watching
having
you two bond over newfound fatherhood.
Tired dads.
Tired dads
Tired
unite.
dads unite. Hey.
Form of nap.
Shape of coffee.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching. It was a pleasure to be here. You know, it's great. Thank you so much, Chris, for having me. Cheers. If you please would do so, follow Cape on all the social medias. Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat. Why not? I don't know. We're not on Snapchat, but fuck it.
Yeah.
Maybe for the sake.
Snapchat, Tumblr, MySpace.
Yeah.
Follow us on all the
spaces.
Give us a Yelp review. Follow us on Pinterest. What else is there? Is there a Cape? It'd be funny as shit if there's a Cape Pinterest. Actually, I should make one as a goof. There was talk, and actually, you and I talked about it. There's
Cape
an
on
idea.
Blue Sky.
Well, Cape is on Blue Sky. Funnily enough, I created a Blue Sky account for that like month where I was like, Blue Sky is going to be it. Yeah. So there is a Cape Blue Sky. So this will be promoted on Blue Sky. You can follow CAPEPOD is the handle on all the socials and on YouTube as well. So please follow the show. But number one, that was actually fun because I didn't have to do it. I'm like, oh, wow. I know I don't need to be here to do the show, as you've proven a couple of times already. But it was kind of fun to just sit here and watch somebody do the whole, do the credit roll. Yeah, the whole spiel to wrap up the show. Yeah. So that was, I enjoyed that. For an audience of one. People got to listen to Christian wrap up the show properly. And now I'm going to slow that down. But there was a joke for a little while. And it would have been funny to do, but I don't think it would have resulted in anything. But it was because there was a time when the click-through rate from TikTok to OnlyFans was the highest click-through rate of like any linkage anywhere.
Really?
And I said, oh, it'd be really funny because Cape TikTok was created 4 years ago. I was like, oh, we should create a Cape OnlyFans, but just post the free, like the episodes on there the same we do everywhere else, but just make a Cape OnlyFans, not charge anything for it, but just put the episodes up there because then people at least check out the show. But, and now OnlyFans is trying to do comedy specials and shit like that people don't care about. We all know why people go on OnlyFans.
We all know.
And it's fine. Do what you want.
No judgment.
No judgment. We do not kink shame here on Cape. So whatever you're into.
That was respect to Blackout.
Oh, miss those guys. Oh. Anyway, follow me, follow Christian, follow Jack, follow Joe. And yeah, we'll be back soon enough with most likely another special. So thank you all for checking out the show. Hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, for Jack DeFranco, Joe Weber, and Christian Cortez, this is Chris Aballo, and this was yet another experiment.